How's it going, everybody? Today's awesome day here at Level M because I finally get to add some more Tomica to the collection, which is not a very common thing. I do have a particular vendor that I try to buy from. His name is PR Diecast. He's in Puerto Rico. He's sells on eBay. He has the best prices, in my opinion, and pretty much has everything you can think of, including brand new stuff. We do have some brand new 2022 stuff, which is, we're in 2023, but they came out just around the corner. So I did pull everything out of the boxes just to make it a little bit easier because some of these are a little bit tedious, you should say. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look. This is going to be the first one we're going to take a look at. Number 77. This is brand new for 2022. This is the Hitachi Macadam Roller ZC125M-5. That looks pretty good on the box art. Of course, nothing fancy on the box. Just your standard Tomica stuff. This is the Hitachi itself. Very simple prints. Just has Hitachi there. And then, of course, there is no Hitachi on the other side, which is kind of interesting. So one single print on there. There's no other details on this. A little bit of print right there. Talking about the model number, but that's it. The cool thing about this one is those rollers are metal. They are all metal, which is pretty nice. They are pretty sturdy. They look pretty good. They are plastic hubs in the middle here, but the actual roller part is metal, 100%. Looks very, very good. Of course, it has two driver seats. You can sit on either side. Very interesting three-wheel design on that roller, and of course, it rolls very, very well. Looks very, very good. Looks like a proper road roller. There's no like turning section in the middle or nothing like that. So, but that looks pretty cool. So pretty happy about that one. So we'll bring him back into the mix as soon as we get some space. Next one up. This was a brand new model, I think, in 2021. I think Hitachi loading shovel. This is the EX8007, scale of 1 to 300 because it is a doozy. This is the Hitachi shovel here. It does say EX8000 on the side. That is a sticker. That sticker was already applied. I did not have to apply that sticker. That is print in the back. It says Hitachi. Very, very nice print. You can see how small the ladder is here. Just how unbelievably off scale this really is. Looks super good. It is very nice. Of course, turns up and down. And then, of course, it pushes the bucket in and out. This one is pretty cool because the real Hitachi has several pistons on the bottom. And they just made it one. Make it easier for assembly. Nice, and there's a lot of friction in there, so it looks pretty good. And of course, it does rotate 360, just like you'd expect. Rotates all the way around, and then of course does have nice rubber tracks, which roll perfect. No base deets really on Tomica these trucks because there's just not that much space to have base deets, but it is nice and wide, barely fits in the box. It is very, very large casting. But that looks pretty good, so pretty happy about that one. I actually had my eye on this one for quite a while. Finally got one, finally pulled the trigger. Now the rest of these is what I still call Tomica Long. I know they're not called Tomica Long anymore, but I will always call them Tomica Longs. Most of these are relatively new. There's a couple of them that are existing, kind of split them up a little bit. It's more kind of like construction hauling and a little bit more emergency and whatnot. Of course, the one that doesn't fit either one is this one. Which is absolutely enormous, way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So this is a brand new casting for 2021. This is the Hummer H2 Limo in kind of a darker pink color. When I first picked this up, I thought there'd be a lot of features to it. I'm not really sure what they would do with a Hummer per se. You guys know, I think they did the Escalade. I think it has like opening doors. All four doors open up. This one, number 148. So I got this one and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, the doors don't open. The casting looks really good. I do like these bigger kind of off-road wheels that Tomica has. I think they look good. I like that. Nice prints on the front. Good details, of course. Very, very, appropriate. Looks very good. Looks very Hummer, of course. This one doesn't have much details on the bottom either. Just says trademark GM Hummer H2 made in Vietnam, number 148, 2021. So this model will always have that number designation for its whole life. But I was looking at this and I'm like, well, what does this do? And then I realized the roof looks different. Well, the roof pops off. And there's your little feature. Most of these quote-unquote Tomica longs do have features. They have moving parts and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So you do have a couple of seats on this side. That's probably where a bar area is there on the right. And of course, seats in the front and the back. Even more seats on this side. So I guess you can call it a dry bar because this is considered a kid's toy. We're not going to say they're consuming anything in there, but that looks okay. I was expecting a little bit more, maybe some print in there or something like that, but unfortunately not. Of course, the top is very easy. It just has a little notch that you just put on here, then two little spots. You just pop it on there. It looks pretty good. Does not have any suspension, which I was a little confused about. I'm surprised it doesn't have any suspension. And it's relatively light for as big as it is. All the pink is metal, but of course, there's a lot of plastic in the bottom as well. So very interesting casting. It is absolutely enormous. Absolutely enormous. All right, we're going to take a look at this guy here. This is the all-terrain vehicle, the Red Salamander Extreme 5. This is an older casting, it's been out for a little bit. This particular one does come with a sticker sheet. There's a couple of stickers you put in there. See, that is Morita, I think that's what it is. This is a licensed vehicle. This is not generic or anything like that. That's the actual company. So a couple of stickers to put on there. I do not put my stickers on my Tomicas, but this one's got a whole lot of deco on it, so I don't think we really need it. Very interesting vehicle. Very interesting vehicle. Good prints on the front with just silver. Light bar on the top. Some silver print on the top. Nice Japanese logos look there, or symbols look there. Look pretty good. More lights in the back. Very, very nice. Really good prints. More print on the back. Looks super, super nice. Of course, it is hinged in the middle and it moves around, does all that kind of stuff like that. It doesn't move up or down. And then just there's the base deets. And of course, 4 giant tracks, which are pretty nice. And you see the wheels do move when the tracks roll through. So a little bit of give in there, a little bit of movement in the plastic. But other than that, there's really nothing there. It doesn't have any opening features or anything like that. Nothing fancy, but it looks pretty cool. I still think it's a decent one. It's just one that I didn't have. And of course, I do my best to collect all the Tomica longs as much as I can. All right, we're going to go from the right side. We're going to pull this guy over. This is the Mitsubishi Fuso. Super great fishing boat transporter. And of course, Tomica is smart. They know exactly what you want to do with this. So obviously it just sits on there, but it does stay. So it moves around a little bit. Not as bad as Hot Wheels in their boat in their transport series, but it does move around a little bit. Of course, this is your Mitsubishi Fuso. Super great boat transporter truck. Nice prints on the front. Of course, you know, the trucks have to fit in the boxes, so they are going to be tiny. This one is tiny as well. Of course, the trailer does come off. That's why the trailer is off. I do particularly like this low loader trailer. I think this is really nice. See, this is all the way back from 2009, so nothing new on this. I do like how the wheels go through the base. And then, of course, they do have print on there for some wood planking. Looks really, really good. Of course, the fifth wheel is just angled at a 90 degrees, so you can just pop it in and out there. So we'll set the truck down. This is our super great fishing boat. It looks really, really good like this. It is all plastic. There is stickers on the top here, which are plastic reflective. I still think it looks pretty good, though. And of course, it does have the lantern bar hanging down in the middle, which looks super, super good. This looks really, really good. You'd have this kind of sitting on your dock, kind of like this, just kind of chilling on the dock, and it would look pretty good. But say you are a child and you actually want to play with the boat, then you would just take the boat stand off. The boat stand just connects to the bottom, nothing fancy. And then, of course, it does have wheels. There are little wheels at the bottom, so you can push this around and have some fun with it and act like it's going through the water and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's quite a bit of play feature to this one. I think that's really, really important. And it really, really brings a huge amount of value to these. And there's a lot of friction in that plastic. So holds on there very, very well. Get that guy in the proper direction. That one looks pretty good. I do like the neon color as well for the truck. So we'll slide him to the side. Another hauler truck. This is the only one that's crashed. Now, this is the only one that's in a skinny box. The rest of these are all in huge boxes. This one, number 144, I do apologize. I was kind of skipping through there. Number 150. Number 144, the Hino Profia trailer with the Nissan containers in the back. This one is pretty straightforward. There is your Hino. Looks decent. It's a pretty good truck. A lot more prints on this one than the Mitsubishi had, but that looks, the same. This guy does have the same exact fifth wheel hookup, so nothing fancy with that. I do like this trailer. I do like the silver print down here. That looks really, really good. No print on the back or anything like that. The Nissan containers are just stickers. They do just pop right off. And then there is your just basic trailer. So we'll throw that back on the truck. The containers are hollow plastic, but they do stack. So they do stack and they do stay together. They don't slide apart. So you could theoretically make a huge kind of shipyard or whatever, which would look pretty good. I think that's kind of cool too as well. And it doesn't bother me that there's not 4 individual ones. I think 2 is perfectly fine. That works perfectly fine. I think it's good. So we'll throw that guy out of the picture for right now. This one is definitely one of the coolest ones, and this is one of those things where Tomica is just really, putting their thought into what they make. The Isuzu Giga Special High Pressure Tank Transporter, number 149. This was brand new casting last year. This purple color is awesome, super awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and take the truck off so we can take a look at the Isuzu. It says Isuzu Giga on there, which is super, super cool. This purple is fantastic. Really, really like that color. Looks super good. So quite different from the Mitsubishi Fuso. So we'll put that guy back on there. Now, this is a high pressure tank transporter. You see the high pressure tank on the back. Of course, this has the same print as the other trailer with a little bit of wood there. So we'll slide him back. So this is the trailer, I guess you can say. So the tanks do come off, obviously. This is the little platform that the tanks sit on so that they can sit on the truck. And you'll see there's all these holes in there. That little pin right there is to hold the tank itself. And then you'll see there are pins at the bottom of the tanks. This one is a flat top tank. And then, of course, this one has the round top on there. Looks pretty good. They do have a ladder on each side. And, of course, they do just sit down in there just like that. That one looks fantastic. That looks super, super cool. I think that looks awesome. I like the style of that. These caps doesn't come off or anything like that. So it's designed so that they can be put together on the truck, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, if you say, well, I don't want to, put them not, side by side, I want a bigger tank, then there you go. You can put them together and have one large tank. So that is pretty cool. That's actually not what I expected from this set. And of course, the prints, especially on the ladders, look really, really good. Very, very nice details in there. So just set this guy back down on there. Let's see, it goes right there, I think. I think this is kind of purpose. You have to put it one direction. Like it has to go that direction. But other than that, I think it's fantastic. That one is super, super cool. Definitely one of the better ones. For sure, but not the best one, but one of the good ones. All right, going on to this guy, number 145. This is the Nagoya City Fire Bureau ladder truck M32LAT. Yes, they are quite a mouthful. And of course, you see this truck is much, much larger than everything else we've looked at, except for the H2. The H2 was enormous. But again, this is what Tomica does. They build it to the size of the box. Everything is scaled to the box, however it will fit in the box. And they're never scaled to each other, which has always been an odd thing for me. But I still think they do a fantastic job. So there is good print on the side of this. So there is your print up there for the ladder apparatus. That is a licensed apparatus. Prints on the side here look pretty good. Kind of like your control area there. Doesn't have any outriggers or anything like that. This back section is plastic. The cab is all metal. That looks pretty good. And of course, you flip it around. We're going to move the ladder up out of the way for us so that you can see that it is a licensed cab. This is a Scania, which is super cool. definitely happy to see that. Moving over to this side, same deets, nice prints on the back as well, looks pretty good. Again, another logo right there for the apparatus on the top. And then, of course, the apparatus just sits on the truck like that. Of course, it does lift up. Because it is a ladder truck, there is some more symbols right here. It looks pretty good. Little stand right here, which holds the ladder up. And of course, just like you'd expect, the ladder does move full 360 completely all the way around. There is some nice print on the edge of that bucket up there. It says Nagoya City Fire Bureau. That looks super, super cool. So when you're going to set this up, you bring this down and you lift your bucket. So now you have a bucket for your individuals to stand in. And of course, it does have a 3-stage boom, which goes completely off the camera. So that is pretty cool. That extends up quite far, much higher than my hand. So that looks super, super cool. I actually like this one a lot. I was really looking forward to getting this one. I thought the little kink here at the top was a little weird, but it's perfectly fine. It works exactly like you thought. And there's a lot of friction to it, which is pretty nice. So just slide that down in there. And of course, all this stuff is super high quality plastic, so you don't have to worry about the ladder breaking or not catching or whatever like that. So then, of course, just some silver diamond plating print on the top. Looks pretty good. Again, just, you know, there's no point to show the bases. There's no base details on any Tomicas. They don't do details or anything like that. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just stating the fact that, you know, they do the details on other stuff. All right. This one weighs about 35 billion metric tons. Everything you see that's yellow is metal, 100% metal. This is the UD Trucks Quan Trailer Dump, number 147. This one is super, super cool. I don't know if the trailer comes off. I think there we go. So the trailer does come off. There is your UD Trucks. I think this is super, super cool. I like this one's a little bit bigger scaled, so it looks a little bit better. A lot of good details on this, though. It's just a really, really cool truck. And again, just, you know, no deets. Just no deets on these, but all the good deets are what you see. Looks really, really good. So we're going to throw this back on there. Now, the cool thing about this particular dump truck, which is just mind-boggling, which I did not expect. So obviously, it's a dumper, and you pop it up to dump. And of course, it does have a metal dumper in the back. And get those to kind of go out. It doesn't work perfectly, but they do come with these little like squares of dirt. Kind of interesting, but they're kind of hollow on the other side. And there's just enough to fill the whole bottom of it, but it gives you something to dump out. I really didn't expect that. I didn't expect that there'd be an additional feature in here because it's pretty detailed up. And of course, the flap on the back is metal, and of course there's no friction, so it moves like it should. The trailer doesn't pop up all that much because it is quite heavy, but it does lock, so it'll stay up no matter what. So it's not going to fall down unless you purposely want it to go down, which is a really, really good feature. No prints on the trailer whatsoever. Does have a different color for the wheel surround, but that's it. It is a triple axle, because it is a enormous dump trailer, just huge. There's the inside of it. I was pretty shocked at how heavy this model truly is. It's quite heavy. I will admit it's a very, very heavy model. So we'll get our dirt pieces down in there, which is, like I said, just a really cool play feature. Just not something that we get to see all that much. It's not something that Hot Wheels or Matchbox would ever do in their life. All right, this one is very interesting. This is the Ichara City Fire Bureau Scrum Force. This also comes with a relatively large sticker sheet. The reason that it comes with such a large sticker sheet is it comes with a bunch of little accessories with it. This is brand new for 2022. So all of these are stickers. There's quite a bit of them. There are like little robots and rovers, and there's a drone and some other stuff in here. So this is kind of used to snuff out hot spots during fires and things like that. This is a very small scaled truck, obviously, to fit in the box. there is the front of it. It is interesting. There's no logos or anything like that, so I'm not sure if this is actually a licensed cab, but it probably is. There's some pretty good print in the back here. Got some print on there. This whole back apparatus we'll get to in just 1 second. There is the other details on this side. Little platform down here. So this has a bunch of different features. So for one, this is a container which pops up. There's a little snap. Bring it over, and then it sets it down. Now it does not detach. It is permanently attached. So you can't take the truck away and leave this situation there, but it's perfectly fine. Everything on that rear section there is a sticker. Now, you'll see on the box, you'll see there's some little accessories there. You have a couple of robots, and then, of course, there's a little drone. And yes, you do get all those items. So there is a little side panel here that you pop off, which comes off completely by itself. Set that to the side, and then, of course, there is your little drones inside. So we'll just dump this out. This is a robot, little, kind of remote controlled, maybe ATV style of, maybe a sprayer on the front. It's really, really small, so not exactly sure what it is, but it does have wheels that roll, which is kind of cool. Some stickers and stuff to deco those up. And then if this guy looks like he's got some hose and stuff in there, so that he can be kind of a backup maybe for the sprayer. So that's kind of cool. This is the tiny, 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 tiny little drone. And yes, it does have helicopter blades on the top, which, open up. It's just a chunk of plastic though. And then this last one, which not exactly sure what this one is, but it is some type of something. It's something. Couldn't tell you what it is. We don't really have stuff like this in the US. This is kind of an interesting setup here. They are sized for each one. The little guy goes in there. The drone goes right there. Get him to maybe line up a little bit better. There we go. And then I don't think these two really matter. They just kind of both go in there. Level, hopefully. There we go. And then the little side part here, you just pop it in the top and then just snap it. There you go. And then just bring it back up. And then it snaps in there. So it's a thing. Definitely not one of my favorite ones. I think it's interesting. I think it's unique, but definitely not one of my favorite Tomica longs for sure. Definitely not. Now, what is, and I'm not even pulling anybody's chain, this is by far the greatest Tomica long that's ever been made. This is the Mitsubishi Fuso Super Great Concrete Pump Truck. I mean, this thing is bonkers. I never thought that somebody would make a full, legit working concrete pump truck at anywhere near 1/64 scale. Now, obviously, this is way off of that scale, but you guys know what I'm saying. Number 127. So this truck is absolutely awesome. So there is your Mitsubishi Fuso logo on the front. Now, it is a concrete mixing pump. There's no additional prints all over this thing. It is just this. There's no stickers or anything. This is all you get. So for starters, you're going to say, I want to get set up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start setting your outriggers. So there's an outrigger on each side here. They come out at an angle. So there you go. And then there's the two much, much larger outriggers, which just pop out at each side. Just like that. So you can make kind of your X to stand it up. And then once you stand it up, and I might have to move the camera here, you lift your concrete boom up, and this is exactly how they work in real life. So they do that one first, and then you pull out this one, and then you drop this one down. You see there's a piston here. The rest of these are all friction based. So pull that guy up, holds pretty well. Bring out the next boom, bring it up to take some of the friction out of it. We'll move our camera up just a little bit. See if we can follow this. And then the additional stage will come out. And then this is the one that has the actual attachment, which is going to have the concrete come out. So this whole apparatus completely opens up and it actually sits there. And that looks super, super cool. Now, obviously, over time, as you play with this or as you mess with it, it will more than likely lose a lot of friction, probably fall down and stuff like that. But for now, it looks super, super awesome. Just insane. I mean, this is just one of the coolest Tomicas that's ever been made. It's just so awesome that they made this. I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. This is by far my favorite Tomica in the whole collection now, for sure. And then, of course, you just fold it all up. Boom. Boom. Now, before we completely close it up, I do want to showcase there is the actual opening in the back where you put the concrete in, and yes, it even opens up. So that looks absolutely fantastic. So you can actually back up a concrete truck and get it set up, make it look pretty good. You can see the line that goes up to pump all the concrete in. So that is really, really cool. Just really, really nice. These side pods just pop in there so that they don't pop out. And then we'll bring our boom down and then drop the boom. There is a stand here to hold the boom. And then you just slide your new outriggers in and boom, there you go. Just like that. So we'll bring the rest of our crew in since we had to kick them off of the screen so that we can make some space. Just kind of throw some guys around. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bring this guy in there. Bring our super great boat transporter. He's kind of bigger, so we'll put him in the back. Our salamander, which is not very nice. We'll put that one right there. Put this guy there. Bring in our Hummer H2, which is enormous. That's why that's so big, because it needs to take up the whole box. So put that guy there. Try to get our camera a little bit straightened again. I do apologize. I try not to move the camera as much as possible. And then we'll just bring in the two little small guys that are hanging out. And there you go. So that is some new Tomica. Super, super happy to have some new Tomica, and glad I can finally bring some to the channel. I do always strive to bring some good variety, and finally I get to get some Tomica on the channel for you guys. So let me know what you think about those. This one is absolutely bonkers. It's definitely my favorite Tomica by far. That is the coolest Tomica that's ever made, in my opinion. It's the coolest ever. It's the coolest ever. So we're gonna roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Level, take care.